All right, so welcome to our Open CPQ demo. Today, we're excited to present a game-changing demo focused on product visualizations and enhancing the dealer experience. Based off of our conversations at the KBIS and IBS conference, this is specifically tailored for those building product manufacturers. Leading this demonstration is our own Ethan Jung. He's our expert in CPQ solutions, who will walk you through how this feature can revolutionize your quoting process, from interactive product visualizations to streamlining dealer interactions. We'll explore how this innovative tool can elevate your business. If you have any questions or need further insights, don't hesitate to contact Hillary Schwally, our dedicated CPQ sales specialist. Feel free to chat her directly during or after the presentation with any questions. And now let's delve into how this feature can transform your quoting experience. Hillary, I'll pass to you.
Great. Thanks, Megan. I'm going to hop through just a few slides, give a little bit of background about what CPQ is and some of those features and functionality that CPQ offers. And then we will hop into the demo. So I am going to hop to our next slide. So what is CPQ? CPQ is a suite of products, and at the heart is a powerful quoting and ordering engine that is for a multi-channel selling platform. The product configurator is capable of storing vast engineering and pricing details, and it is a tool to streamline the quoting and ordering process. CPQ is one solution for all of your needs. It does cover all of those major departments inside of your facility, with marketing, having the ability for visual configuration, augmented reality, and the ability to create consistent and compelling proposals. For sales, it offers a multi-selling platform. For engineering, it allows for 2D and 3D design automation. I don't know if engineering is potentially a bottleneck in your current quoting and ordering process, but it does integrate with CAD, and engineering then can streamline those drawing processes. Through the manufacturing department, it does allow for 2D and 3D CAD, BOMs and routings, as well as change orders. And then for management, it allows for analytics, AI, and the ability for workflows and approvals. As I mentioned, it is a multi-channel quoting and ordering platform. So you can take one configurator and place it across all of your selling platforms, whether it be your internal sales, external sales, dealers, distributors, whoever those customers may be for you specifically, and use that one platform or that one configurator across all of those platforms for a single source of truth. CPQ allows for anytime, anywhere access. And so what does that mean? So with the fully responsive UI, you can not just create quotes, but you can manage pricing from anywhere. So if you have your customers out in the field and or your sales folks out in the field, and they would like the ability or the capability to generate those quotes from a cell phone, a tablet, or a laptop, it gives them power to do so. So there's many different ways that CPQ allows for visual engagement and interaction with those products. So you can see I'm flashing up a few right now. So there are static product images, and this may be something that's used internally. Maybe you have some more experience quoting going on internally with your internal sales staff, and so they may just need static images. There's interactive 3D, so you can empower your customers who want to explore the details and complexities of the product. So you can actually explode the images, rotate it, and we'll take a look at that today. Augmented reality. So this is really sort of that ultimate experience where you can actually take that product and place it into your own environment. So if there were a window or a door or even a countertop, you can have that experience of taking that and placing it into your space. 2D drawings and CAD assemblies. So this really supports sales and manufacturing through the dynamic generation of 2D CAD drawings. So you can actually create those drawings as you're configuring the product. And that is something that we'll take a look at, as well as the 3D assemblies, which supports the manufacturing side of the business as well. Buyer habits were already changing in 2018. So the buyer habits, as we know, have changed rapidly with things like the advancement in technology and the changes in consumer buying habits. This was further impacted with things like COVID-19. So with a remote selling model being more prevalent than ever, customers are demanding or requesting that there be ease, simplicity, and that visual experience and that availability right at their fingertips. So what Infor CPQ does is it allows you to align easily with your customers' buying habits. And on this slide here, CPQ delivers real results and real returns. And these are some actual metrics from some of our real Infor CPQ customers. So I'm not going to read through all of them. This will be available as a recording, and you can take a closer look at that as well. So that is what I have for just a brief introduction, and we will, I'll turn it over to Ethan, and we will hop into the demo.
Great. Thank you, Hillary. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and we can get started. Hillary, do you want to? Oh, yeah, yep. There we go. Cool. Excellent. All right, we'll go ahead and share my screen, and then. All right.
Looks good.
Great. Thanks, Hillary. Okay, for today, let's review at a high level how Infor CPQ can really streamline that quoting process and enhance that overall buying experience. We're right now on home pages or the dashboard. This can be used both internal and external sales reps, dealers, agents, anyone who really functions in some sort of capacity for your organization. And as you can see here, there's a lot of information, but it's really here to help me and designed to help me manage my business and build that collaboration between all the groups in my organization. These widgets, as you can see here, are fully customizable and can be tailored to what I want to see and what I need to see to operate in my business. As you can see here, I have things like an inbox. I have a quick tab of menus. I have contact lookups for existing clients. I have customer lookups for prospects. I can also incorporate videos, and I can also incorporate notes of any sort of capacity as part of my dashboard. And so with this information at my fingertips, I can really collaborate with others to reduce the time it takes to generate accurate quotes. So let's go ahead and create a quote. I'm going to go ahead and move to my quick menu and click on create a quote. And what it's doing now is it's launching me into my quote screen. And from here, I can filter by user groups, dates, time was created, modified. I can search by keywords of a product that I'm specifically looking for. Maybe I have a smart part number that I'm looking for. I can type that in. Furthermore, I can also look at the different types of statuses, pricing updates, if it requires engineering review, modifications to the existing quote, where I am in that information. And finally, I can also switch my view from a card view to a grid view. Again, it's really being able to sort through the information that I have that I want to review. And again, we're really trying to facilitate that collaboration between the different groups around the sales process. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and create a quote for an existing client called Lighting Associates. So I click here on the upper right-hand corner and click New Quote. And as I click on New Quote, I'm going to go ahead and select a customer. And I'm going to go ahead and type in Lighting Associates. Go ahead, select Lighting Associates. And I need to fill in some information about this particular type of client. So for instance, where do I want to ship it to? And notice I can ship it to multiple sites, as well as I can have multiple contacts. So again, we're really trying to express that. I'm trying to express that convenience and flexibility. So now that I have some basic contact information in my system, and again, this is all can be pulled from your ERP or any other system that you want to connect to. So from here, I can go to my product catalog, and my product catalog can be organized in any different ways. And this is our demo library. So this can really be organized in however you'd like to. From here, I can either click on a non-configured item, such as this bolt, but let's go ahead and create a product. I'm going to go ahead and create an awning to really show you how you can incorporate 3D images into your quoting process. I'm going to go ahead and click on 3D awning as my selection of my product. And I'm going to go ahead and start configuring. And from here, I can go ahead and change my fabric swatch from orange dark to thin mint green. And as I create that, I can go to my 3D image. And notice from my 3D image, I can start seeing the visualization of my product selection. I apologize, my system's a little slow today. Let's move on. So as I pick the frame, I can go ahead and pick wood. And as you can see here, you can start seeing that the pricing is being created, as well as all the different price breakdowns. From here, I can go ahead and change my width from 8 to 10 feet. And I can also change my positioning of open or partial. So as I can see here, I can see the summary. I can go ahead and start seeing that 3D image that's been created. And I can go ahead and open it fully to, again, help me visually visualize the products as an end user. Now the awning really demonstrates how easily you can design your product in 3D for your customers. It takes, on average, a non-CPQ user 73% more time to produce a typical quote or a proposal. And with Infor CPQ, I can create multiple versions of this quote so that I can copy, modify it, again, without losing the original copy of it. And so I'm going to go ahead and finish this quote. And as you can see, I'm landed back on my original quote with that on it. And then to create a different version of this I can go over here on my upper right-hand corner to more, and I click on different version. And what it allows me to do is it allows me to create multiple versions, 1 and 2, so that I can always keep that original quote, but at the same time, I can create that good, better, best scenario. So let's go ahead and create a door to show you how dynamic 2D images can be used to help visualize products. And why am I going to use a door to this quote? Well, doors have lots of dimensional qualities: height, width, length, depth, thickness. Very similar to a lot of our manufacturing companies that have a lot of dimensional values. If you have dimensional values, it'll be very similar to a door. So again, I'm going to change how I go to my product catalog, and I'm going to go to add items. And I'm going to go ahead and type in wood door. And I can see my wood door product. I'm going to go ahead and select it. And now, as you can see here, as it loads, as you can see here, you can see that CPQ options have been brought forward to the screen. It allows me to enter in selections that's important to build a door quickly. In this case, I can use image drop-down menus to help me quickly pick the right door options. So for instance, cherry, and I can go ahead and pick cider. And I can go ahead and pick raised panel. This is especially helpful when you have lots of lines in a quote, like doors or windows. And since I've gone ahead and selected these, I can just as easily add this item directly to the quote. But let's review the selections and how the images and the rules help to create that right product. And as I open it, I can see my first question is, this wasn't nearly as important, but it still needs to be answered. I have an interior door. And I picked, as I remember, you picked cherry and I picked cider. And here are those options that I've already picked. And I'm going to go ahead and continue on. And I can actually go to my image. And as you can see, this time you see a 2D drawing of the door. This image is dynamic. So as I change the width and the height of the door, you can see how the CPQ can redraw the door based on the new dimensions. So when I change the width from 30 to 48 and the height from 80 to, we'll say 60, you can see that the door image changes. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what happens when I choose from a square panel, square top, to an arch panel, arch top. Notice you see an error because the business rules are giving me and telling me that I have an error and where that error point is. This dynamic response really keeps me as a user from making mistakes that could result in a rework error. And really by having this dynamic feedback, I can mitigate any sort of manufacturing risks that might occur. Also, meanwhile, in the background, all the selections that I've made, I'm also making the right manufacturing rules and creating that bill of materials dynamically. So when I change the feature of that door, I'm also changing the BOM, which I can also create other workflows such as pricing discounts, markups, or really pass this information to other groups like engineering for review as a special order. So I'm going to go ahead and change it back to arch top, from an arch panel to arch top to square panel, square top. And as you can see, my image changes back. Furthermore, I can see the details and I can also see my price. All right. So I can do lots of other things, but for today, let's go ahead and finish up the quote. I'm going to go ahead and click on finish. And as you can see, I'm back on the quote with that 3D awning and also with that door. And since I am connected to the ERP, I can push this order with the full BOM that was being created behind the scenes. Furthermore, I can also attach this into, again, like I said earlier, pricing details. I can adjust line pricing, or I can also push this as a partial order. For now, let's go ahead and take a look at the actual proposal that I can go ahead and generate. From here, I can go ahead and preview and email it directly to the quote. So I'm going to go ahead and preview this. And as you can see here, this is our basic quote template. But as you can see, when it finishes loading, it will dynamically create the proposal based on the line item selections that I've selected. And here it is. So here's that information. Here's that awning in thin mint green. And here's that door that looks more like a cabinet. Again, dynamically, and we're streamlining that process. Now from here, I could have just as easily emailed it straight to the customer. But for the sake of time, let's go ahead and assume that the customer says it looks good, says yes to the quote, and I can go ahead and push this order into the ERP. But let's also point out that the customer said, you know what, I just want to have that one door instead of that 3D awning. So I can instead just push that partial order. I'm going to go ahead and click on yes. And I'm going to go ahead and add this to an order line. Go to my order. And notice I can go ahead and push this order straight into my ERP. And there's my order number. Now, studies have shown that vendors who respond first tend to win 50% more deals. And so far, what we've seen is that how you can use images to reduce the risk of errors and speed up that sales quoting process. And so let's go ahead and examine how these aspects are incorporated and in use by an existing client that's using CPQ to enhance their B2C customer experience. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Palliser. Palliser is one of the largest upholstered furniture manufacturers in North America. What they wanted to do was have their customers have the best possible shopping experience in their state-of-the-art showrooms, but also carry that experience seamlessly into their online presence to drive engagements to their dealer network. So right now we're looking at their bed. And I'm looking at their bed and I can change it to a king size bed. I can also change this to headboard from mid to from low to high. And notice it's loading that 3D model. And for here, I can also change it from my cover to from beige to whatever color I want. Again, as you can see, similar to the earlier examples, the selections I've made drive the images to help the end user engage with the right product. And once the product lands on the cart, we can go ahead and seamlessly move that order into an integrated ERP system or other systems for that matter. For the sake of time, let's go ahead and take a look at that order or an example of an order to see how it could land inside the ERP. And for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and use one that I've already created. And by clicking on that order, I can go ahead and launch straight into my ERP. So I can go ahead and see the bill of materials that we created earlier. In closing, the final statistic that I want you to consider is suppliers that tend to make buying easy are 62% likelier than other suppliers to win that business. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Hillary for any final thoughts. Hillary?
Give me just a second, and I will share my screen again. There we go. Well, thank you. I wanted to thank everybody for their attendance today. If you should have any additional questions regarding CPQ or features and capabilities, please feel free to reach out to either myself or Ethan.
Thank you. Thanks, Hillary. Thanks, Ethan, for putting this demo on for us today. And thanks everyone for joining. This was recorded, so I will definitely send it out to everyone who registered after, and appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Thank you.